Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Finally get a chance to work on the beast here. It is a 2001 Polaris Sportsman 500 HO. So this has a bit of a story, like everything I get. So the person I bought it from purchased a house, and this was left in the garage from the previous owner. So he figured it has a plow, you know, doesn't look in horrible shape. He just needs to get running for free, basically, and then he would have something to plow his long driveway. Well, he tried to fix it himself, couldn't figure anything out. He got a mobile mechanic, and the mobile mechanic came and basically kept saying, "Oh, I think you need a new stator. I think you need a new starter. I think you need a new carburetor." So he's buying all these parts, apparently like $1,000 or something, and then just disappeared. Ghosted the seller, and the seller was fed up. He's like, I don't know what to do. So put it up for sale for $1,500. I think I picked it up for $1,200. Which, you know, it's not a super great deal if it gets running perfectly, and it's got a plow, and it's got the 2-up seat, which is in great condition. It's not a bad deal. We'll see how many kilometers or miles are on it. Comes with the keys. It's got a winch. We'll see if that works. Came with a new battery as well. A helmet that he threw in. A second set of tires and rims, because you see this, it's completely flat, and we don't know if it holds air. It's been sitting for a number of years. So we're going to tear into this, and we're going to hope for the best. It came with a whole assortment of parts. New air filter. It came with 3 carburetors, a new oil filter, a new stator, but I believe he said the stator is the wrong size. So it's been a bit of a show the last couple weeks. I went to Cuba last week, and I have a video up so you guys can check that out. First time I've been pretty much, you know, off the continent. First flight and everything. It was fun. It was great. If anybody has any questions about Cuba, you know, throw them in the comments, and hopefully I can answer them. It's a great place, great people, nice, super nice people. I definitely would vacation there. I'd live there. You know, the government is not the greatest, so people are all poor and doing the best that they can. But anywho, and I got a cold on the Friday that I was leaving, so it feels like I'm always getting a cold lately. And they linger. But anyways, this is the project. So this, I believe, is the original carburetor. Now, I don't know if you guys know, I like using the original carburetors. It's usually set up for it. The jets, everything. People just bail on it. I can tell because this super long screw here that this has been messed with. Stripped out screw there, so this has been messed with. It is a Mikuni, so we're gonna use this. I think we'll clean her up real good and make sure he didn't steal the jets out of it. And it looks like some screws are missing, so let's rob the other ones. This is another brand new one, and basically a copy of the Mikuni, it looks like. Yeah, I guess this is on the wrong side, so maybe he bought that, and I don't know, it's backwards. And then there's one on the vehicle right now. So we are going to clean up a little. I was also doing some ice fishing before I left, so the place is a mess. I gotta get some wood chopped up for the fire. I got the, you know, the buddy over there cranking. So it's already warming up in here. Now this is going to be a little experiment. I'm going to do a little review about this, and if anybody ever heard of it, this is called Irish peat. So in Ireland, they burn the peat, the moss, it's almost like mud, but it's so rich in, decomposed. Yeah, my brain's working today. Decomposed wood, and all kinds of plant matter, so it actually burns. It actually burns very well, and they don't have a lot of trees out there, so that's what they burn to keep warm. So I saw it on Amazon, figured I'd try it for 20 bucks, and don't do that, because the shipping charges was from Ireland, from a electronics store or something. It ended up costing me like $80 after import, and it went into the States, and then it came across here, so I got nailed with tariffs from the States for some strange reason. But anyways, I'm going to make a review on this. I'm going to burn it in the wood stove, and we'll see how that stuff fires up and burns. And if you're in Ireland, but if you're here, definitely don't be ordering this stuff. So let's get back to this. I'm going to get set up, and we do have all the plastics. They look like they're in pretty good shape, except for I just noticed that we do have a crack right here. So we should be able to pop that back out and weld that from the back. It's not broken all the way through, and it's still solid, so it's just, for looks. I think we can clean this up looking really good after I'm done. I think at the back of the seat there is a little bit of wear right here, broken through. It's nothing too much. It goes underneath anyway, so. And no little surprises in there. If you guys remember, I worked on a 2002, I think it was, and this was missing. So it is on this one, and I guess this was a problem, that these are really kind of hard to see through. I think it's just got a film of something. So once we fire that up, we'll take a look at that, and we'll clean this all up, show you the trick with the white, make that look newer again. This is probably bone dry, and our big problem, we're gonna really cross our fingers, and hopefully it is the brakes that's seized up, but it's seized. The rear end is seized. So because it was sitting so long and it was used as a plow and salt and everything, I'm hoping that it's just corroded up or whatever. I can free that up. But first we'll get the engine going, then we'll start with the cosmetics, and we'll start with the driving. And this is a nice little 2-up seat here. I really like it. I might end up keeping this, putting it on my own. That looks like the rear brake pedal, and the helmet bag, some wiring. I'm thinking it's for the brake light that's on here. And I noticed that there's a cover in it, so it came with a cover. The pole rope looks like it's snapped, so we definitely have a few things to tackle, but that's what it's all about. Let's fix this up. Alright guys, I'll be back when we're set up here ready to go. I think what we'll do is we'll check the oil first, and we'll check for spark, and we'll check for compression, and we'll test the battery to see if the battery's got any charge in it. We'll plug it in, see if anything lights up. So let's get set up and check the oil. Okay, it took a minute to remember where the oil in these was, these ATVs, and it is up in this little wonderful spot up in here. So We're gonna pull that out and check the oil real quick and see. Now, the seller did include a extra. Yeah, that looks. It's not horrible. There's oil in it. I'm happy about that. Let's check. I'm gonna screw this right down in there to check it. I'm not sure if you're supposed to, but on this one. And yeah, it's at the fill. It is a little dark, but definitely smells a little bit like gas. Pretty sure that he had the gas turned on here. So it is a little liquidy. So could have flooded out with all the work that they were doing on it. I'm going to just test this one more time. And get this good smell. Yeah, it's really runny. It's got a little hint of smell to gas. Oh yeah. So I noticed the gas was turned on here, so it's definitely a possibility that it flooded right in. So we'll need an oil change when this is done. And if this is like my old, so when I just saw this, it was pointed down, which is on, and that is off, and up is reserve. So I don't know if there's any gas in there, but we're going to check this all out. So that's that oil. Next thing I'm going to do is check the transmission oil. And that little beauty. So here's the new battery. It's always good to get a new battery. We'll test that. I don't know if it's dead. You notice there's all kinds of little parts here and there. That's a battery bolt. And there's a nice little screw down in here. So you gotta love people. Don't put things away. Just sit them where they are. They bump around. Get lost. Okay, we're going to pop this out. Here's the positive lead and the negative lead and another negative lead over here. I'm guessing this is going to the frame. And we're going to pull this out. And we're going to hope there's fluid in here and it's not the transmission that's completely seized up. That's what we're going to hope. Well, look at that. We got a little, and it's clean. So we're going to wipe that. We're going to put that back in there. And pull it back out. I can get it out, back out now. And we're going to look at this, and we're just on the low mark. But not bad. Not bad at all. So not too bad anyways. If it was bone dry, I'd start really being concerned. So normally when I see things getting corroded, I'll start, just hitting stuff with some penetrant to start working, while I'm doing everything else. I noticed the gear shifter here is actually, you know what? I thought that was a lot of corrosion, but there's a lot of mud on it. See, when you look at that, it looks like it's all rusted, but it's just dirt. So that's good. That's really good. I was starting to get concerned that this post was going to break off, or that post, or there's definitely corrosion down here in the brake. So we're going to hit that with penetrant, and we're going to let that eat, and hopefully unseize the rear end. So let's get some Get some WD in there. And just, you know, all my cans are frozen from being in here. If anybody has a garage in the, you know, in cold, can relate. You end up losing a lot of your fluids. So I don't know if everybody recommends bringing them all in and then bring it out when you're working on something, or probably what I'll end up start doing. That was an empty can anyways. I'll hit that and hit that. And hit the brake in here. Give her a good spray and just hit. We're going to see all the grease fittings that we'll be able to hit. Get a little WD on these brake lines as well. And then we're going to check as we're going through all these connections. So that's a sensor for the transmission, I'm guessing. And they look okay. And that looks okay. And while we're here, we'll take a peek in the rear brake fluid. But who thinks it's going to be bone dry? Oh, look at that. Bone dry. Wonderful. You kind of like seeing that sometimes because then you know why the things aren't working. So fill it up, and a lot of times they work. Bleed them out. So I did notice the seller included a new, hold on one second. Okay, as I was saying, so the seller, if you notice, this is pretty corroded down in there, the solenoid, did include a new solenoid. So I'm going to see if that one works, and I'm going to change this afterwards, but I'm going to see if that works first. I don't like messing with anything. See what's working, see what's not working, because you put this in, you introduce another thing that could be causing a problem. That's kind of my look. You know, I do work in, see if I can get this, I got a smear on the camera lens. I do work in a technical profession. So, you know, I kind of can cross, you know, my talents or skills, whatever you want to call it, to this. And one thing I learned is never introduce another problem or what could be another problem when you're trying to solve a problem. Fix the problem first. You know it's working. Then you can replace other parts to make it newer or better if you have them on hand, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But don't just start changing stuff, because then you're going to be lost, trust me. And I know there's people probably watching this saying, yep. So it's good. Got a new battery. There's solenoid. And like I said, I like using the original carburetor when I know it's running and everything. Who knows? Maybe I put in the little Amazon jobby here, or I put the other one back in. But I'm going to stick with what I know is supposed to be for it. That one doesn't look too new, so I wonder if this was used for a while. So anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to slap the battery in there, hook it up. I just want to see if stuff lights up. If I remember, the spark plug is like underneath the gas tank, so I'm probably going to test the gas, pull the gas tank out, and then test you know, things like compression and stuff like that. So let's get the battery in and see what it looks like. The coolant is low. I don't know if there's any coolant in there at all, actually. That's wonderful. So we'll fill that up. And we'll use the scope in there to take a look at the cylinder as well. That's interesting. It's the first time we'll be able to use that. Stay tuned. Okay, let's test this battery real quick. And then we have some, at least one, and these are really handy. Pick up these little kits. It's like a battery, all kinds of different sizes. I think it was like $10 or something. So let's turn this on and see what we got. Okay, let's see what we got now. So I don't know if you guys can see this. And try to zoom in here a little bit. And I'll jam this on here. So we got 12.93. So good. I don't have to charge it up. That's always good. So what we'll do, I think we'll get some of these bigger ones if they fit. Okay, moment of truth. It's the moment of truth. We got a negative, positive. This is an accessory, I believe. Really gonna have to look at this. This could be the winch. I'll have to take a look at that. Let's see if anything turns on. Nothing at all. Kill switch is on. Turn it back off. Turn it on. Nothing. No lights. Oh, we got a light. We got one headlight. One headlight. I don't know if these turn on afterwards or not. And that's not working. And just for shits and giggles, we'll just temporarily touch that accessory on there. And we will make sure this is neutral. Oh, neutral light's on. Sweet. We have a neutral light. And if we go in reverse somehow, I don't know if you gotta push brake or something, but well, if that's neutral, that's got to be a reverse. So the reverse light is not working. Neutral. And the start. So there's no high beam. For all we know, all that wire's disconnected. So we have neutral, we have power, we have one low beam light, and that's about it. What about our winch? Nope. Winch has seen better days. So that could be that big ground, so we'll have to trace out those power wires as well once we get this started. And so I'm not sure why we're not getting any power to the starter. It could be the solenoid, and it's weird because it's like a click, but it's normally you go further to start it. There's no on button, just a reverse override as usual. Okay, so we have power in some of the stuff. So let's I think we're gonna have to look into there and look into the solenoid. Okay, we're going to try to jump the solenoid here and see what's the problem. It's pretty corroded up here. That's some corrosion there. Yep, there we go. So looks like the solenoid is fried, and we can hear it. Okay, so we are going to change that solenoid, but it still doesn't explain this key business. Because it normally will go past it. So, all right, so we're going to change out that solenoid right now, I think, and see if that helps. And see if that worked. So let's get this battery hooked back up on here. Okay, so let's see if this works. I'm starting to think he bought a new key. There's no start button anywhere. So it's a little weird. What starts this? Engine start. Push up. Push up. Oh! Well, that is very strange. Okay. So, I've had a 2002 and a 2004 and a 2006 Polaris, and they've all started by turning the key like that. This one, as I'm reading this, engine start. Let me unzoom this. I don't know if this is blurry for you guys, but you can see engine off, start run, push up and off. So you take this kill switch and you push it up. Oh, that's strange. Like, okay. Either I'm a dumbass, but anyways, we got a new solenoid. I'm okay with that. Okay, so now we know we have the neutral light. We know we have a low beam. We know it turns over. Sounds like it has compression, but I won't know until I check to see if there's actually a spark plug in there. And actually, I don't want to turn it over too much because, you know, I don't know how long this has been since this is ran. So, and I want to get some oil down in there and check out that cylinder. So what we'll do next is, nope, we won't check the gas because it is completely empty. Completely. So that's one last thing to check. So I'm guessing he had the fuel on. I'm wondering if the carburetor just poured everything out. But we have that off now. I'm going to get to that spark plug and see if we have spark. Okay, so this came with it. I thought it was a new spark plug, but it's obviously used. It is a BKR 5E GP. And we'll see if that's what it's supposed to be down the road, I guess. Okay, so we're going to check for spark here. Try to get you guys set up so we can see this. And hopefully this is attached to something, because it's really loose. Like, look at all this extra. I don't know what's going on here. And I don't know what the deal is with this right here. This looks like monkey work. We're going to open this up. Looks like they just attached another section onto it by jamming it in there. So, well, we know what kind of mobile mechanic there was. A special one. And that's exactly what they did. They literally just attached that on. And I'm pretty sure you can unscrew this. And just put this on here. So, what the heck? Sure. I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to trim this back about 1 millimeter or so. And we're going to use the proper one, I believe, unless this doesn't fit in here. And that's why he did it. So, why don't we use his little monkey work here, and then we will fix this problem. This goes in because this is literally just pushing in. It's not. Okay, so you're not going to believe this. So here I am messing with this gong show, and I was wondering there was no new spark plug, and I'm like, why is this so long? It just kept pulling out, and I'm like, okay, well, let's look under the hood just to see what's on the other end of this and make sure it's connected to something before I start trying to see if I have spark. Well, look what I find under the hood. So I just pop this off. Looks like a new CDI, a spark plug boot with the brand new spark plug. And I don't know if this is a charge controller. I don't know what a lot of these things are. So this here is the other end of what I was working on down there. And it's not connected to anything. So, EPA. And there's a new, I don't know if this is the new one or that's the new one. Everything under here looks new. So that looks new. There's some wires that are twisted together. And now that I'm just looking at this, looks like this brown wire has been pulled off of here. So I'm going to reconnect that. And this isn't too long. I'm hoping it's long enough to go underneath. Wonder if that's enough of a frame that it'll spark. So what I should do is see if I get spark just from there. So bear with me, guys. Let's see if we have spark. I don't expect to see spark in any shape or form right now, but whatever. Okay. Turn the key on, and no spark. Let me connect up that brown wire. Don't know what that is, but could be important. And I'll try to start it again. Did I do it? No spark. So this could be fun. This could be lots of fun. When people start messing with all the wires, you know, they plug in the wrong ones, hook up the wrong ones to here and to there, and then nothing works. Wrong CDI, wrong charge controller, who knows. This is definitely going to challenge me. What's going on here? This is the new spark plug. And you should see a spark. Okay. I think I'm going to try to get the gas tank out, check for compression. And before I do anything else, try one more time for a spark here. I don't know if that's grounded or not. I don't see anything. Okay, so I'm going to tackle this. I'm going to check the manual and the wiring diagrams to try to find out what's what. If anybody's got any solutions, I noticed that this wire branches off to two different places. So this is white, or sorry, red, yellow, and I don't see another red, yellow anywhere. So this is cut. Comes out of the CDI. I believe it's a CDI. Everything else. Oh. Well, this isn't connected to anything. So, where would that connect to? I'm going to tackle this a little bit more. I don't see where that connects to, and that could be what's missing here. We don't know, but I will check a lot of different things here. But I did notice, so I sprayed the brake with some penetrant, and look, it is moving slightly now. Now, we do have a completely flat tire, so it's not easy to move, but I'm going to spray it more, disconnect this battery for now, or at least turn this to make sure this is off, and I'm going to read some diagrams, manuals here. If anybody's got some good diagrams on how this is wired, let me know. Appreciate it. I'll be back. For all I know, they got the wrong spark plug on there, and they don't fit. So let's bring this over here and turn this on. Okay. And then we will send this puppy. Oh, there's a spark plug in there. Is that a spark plug? Yeah. Okay, how about we get that spark plug out first? Okay, looks like it's loose. This will give us an idea of how it was running before as well. Out. Oh, it's brand new. Brand new, never fired. So we got a couple new spark plugs. The scope now, and we'll be able to check those threads as well. So, threads look okay, I hope. We're going to get the piston down the bottom here. There we are. Okay. Looks okay. Looks like it's got some, I don't know if that's dust in there or what. Hopefully that's not. Let me try to turn this around. If you do this, then you just turn this. This ain't the easiest, not gonna lie. You can see the piston. Cylinder looks okay. See a little bit of crosshatch still in there. You see that cross hatching, so just a little bit, but nothing terrible. No deep gouges, scratches, or anything like that in there. I wonder if it's a newer, if it was redone at some point. I'd like to get an idea. There we go. It doesn't look like a lot of carbon in there at all either, so I think we're good. Yeah. Okay, we're going to check for compression now. Sorry, battery died, guys. And I just need to get this down here. There we go, it's going in now. Okay. Now, I think what we're hoping for, I don't know if there's a decompression mechanism in here, but anything over 100, if there's decompression, I've seen it all the way down to like 60, but we're gonna hope for the best. We got battery connected. We're gonna do throttle open, and we're gonna try to put this somewhere where you guys can see. Zoom it in there. Okay. Throttle open. And okay. Looks like we got about 80. So I'm just gonna check that. The 2001 Polaris Sportsman 500 HO generally has a compression specification of approximately 50 to 90 psi. Due to the automatic compression release ACR system, this lower reading is normal during testing. A healthy engine should generally show around 80% of its potential compression with tests conducted at wide open throttle. So 80 to 90, we have, what does that go, 75, 80, 85, almost 90. So we have great compression. We got, you know, we don't have everything, but we have compression. So I think what we're gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna go do some research on wiring and everything and try to find some diagrams that I can bring back to figure this stuff out. again, so I'm going to stop the video now. This is going to be part 1. And if anybody has any ideas, let me know. So again, this is how the wiring is looking currently. So I believe, I don't know if this is the CDI or this is a CDI. I'm going to have to look into that, or charge controller. The coil, this is the old coil. New coil is hooked up. And we have no spark. And I did find a loose connection, which could, this right here, this blue wire. So if somebody could tell me where that's supposed to go. I don't see any other. I don't like just moving stuff around because you can break wires and have more trouble. But if anybody can give me an idea, that'd be great. And also, why is this have 2 ends? One's cut and the other one is continuing on. And I don't know where that's going, but before I start digging too deep into stuff, I really want to get an idea of some schematics or something like that. So we're going to go back to the drawing board for the wiring. I heard these can be lots of fun when it comes to wiring, and especially when people just butcher stuff and leave everything in a pile. You know, if I'm working on something, I'm going to make sure I have this exact one. I'm going to record myself cutting the wires, reattaching it, so I have no questions. Because when you get in situations like this, now you have to go back and find out what is going on. So, so we have the winch to figure out. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to disconnect the battery so it doesn't drain. We have good compression. I'll probably maybe make a short or something with opening up the carburetor, getting it cleaned up and put back in. And because I'll get the fuel out of the way as a question. Normally the way I work is if I have something that is, you know, really difficult, I don't just stop and, you know, stress out over it for 16 hours. I will, you know, work on some other stuff and think. So, you know, we'll keep working ahead. Keep working ahead. This is a ground going to the frame. So yeah, there's a ground already going to the engine. So is that supposed to be grounding? I'm gonna have to find out where that ground. I don't think that would be why we're not getting spark. Lots of times grounding issues are reasons why you don't have spark. But you know what, if I could just temporarily put this on something that I know is a ground on the engine, I could reach that over to the battery. We could give it a temporary try here. And look for spark. So why not try? Give her a go. And if I know where that spark plug went, spark plug in here. And I'll set this up on the engine somewhere here. And then we'll cross our fingers. And no spark. Okay, it was worth a try. So I'm guessing this has to go, probably goes on the engine down there, the same as the, goes on the starter. But I'm gonna do some more research. All right, guys. So again, we got good compression. Piston looks good. We got one headlight working. We have the neutral light works. The starter's working. Choke looks like it's engaging. We figured out how to start it with this. Strange. On the next one, we're gonna dig into that wiring. We're gonna pump up the tire. We're gonna work more on the brake, and we're gonna try to get spark. And it's moving a lot better now. Yeah, so it is just that brake, and now the tire being completely flat. All right, guys, stay tuned. Keep watching. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll figure it out. We're all learning again. Just started doing this not too long ago, about 6 months ago, and learning a hell of a lot. This will be a wiring learning experience, and I'll definitely take a lot of that information and knowledge to the next. But thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Click subscribe down below, and we ain't done yet. I won't give up on this guy. I don't care what I have to do. Rewire the entire thing. We'll get her going. All right, guys. Have a great day. Peace.